Good afternoon, basketball fans, and welcome inside beautiful Birmingham Groves High School. I'm Brad Fetters for BACB Sports, joined once again by my broadcast partner, Nick Buckler, as we get you set for the action today in our big crossover rivalry game between the home Groves Falcons and the Seaholm Maples. And, Nick, we started our coverage today with the Groves Falcons, 6-10 record, 2-7 in the ultra-difficult OAA Red, but they've won 2 games in a row, including a really nice 8-point victory over Rochester Adams.
Yeah, it's a real tough division to play in, but they've I think weathered the storm. They've taken their lumps, and I think we're going to see what they got today and against a team from a lower division and a rival, though, so anything can happen, as I always like to say. But they've definitely taken their lumps, and I think they're over the hump a little bit, and we're going to see the best of them.
The third member of our broadcast team, Andy Aubrey, is alongside their head coach, Mark West.
All right, guys, thank you very much. We're here with Groves head coach Mark West now. Mark, we got a makeup game today from a snow day. Seems like they call snow days for anything these days, you don't think?
They do, and as a teacher at the school, I don't mind it at all.
Very, very right. Okay, your team moved up to red this year. What's the different brand of competition been like for you guys?
Well, it's been an adjustment period for sure. You know, the first time through the league, we were trying to kind of catch up to that speed and that idea. You got to be there every night. You got to play 32 minutes. And those teams, they're not there just to get wins. Like, they'll embarrass you if you don't have your stuff together. So that appearance, and the nice thing is, after that first time through, this last month we started playing much better basketball. I think we've made that adjustment. We had a huge league win. We've had 2 league wins this week. So hoping to turn that page and really start going at that pace.
Okay. Give us a couple names. Who's been leading your team so far?
Well, Josh Gibson's been outstanding all year. He's averaging a little bit over 20 a game. He was huge this week with 2 games, offensively and defensively. Paul Hubbard's really got it going for us. Brody Tushman, a shooter that just keeps shooting the basketball for us, and we love it. And then other guys are stepping up. You know, we got Landon McKinney and Brandon Brown, Ray Pope coming in big, and we got a freshman that's getting good minutes with us. David Jones is playing well.
So you got Seaholm. It's a big rivalry game. Coach DeGeeter and you have sort of a love-hate relationship. You love hating each other. Yeah. But what do you expect from their club today?
I expect them to play hard. They always do. You know, that Seaholm's brand is to play very, very hard. They're going to slow things down. And it's going to be our job to handle the pressure that they do and kind of be ready for it.
Okay. All right, well, we'll wish you the best of luck. We'll talk to Coach DeGeeter here in a few minutes. But for right now, we're going to send it back to our buddies Brad and Nick.
All right, thank you so much, Coach West and Andy. As for the Seaholm Maples, 5-10 this season, but they're coming off an OAA Blue Championship from a season ago. They've made that move up in the conference realignment to the OAA White. 3-6 record there, but they've won 2 of their last 3 games, including a nice win over Harper Woods in the last one. They held Harper Woods to just 28 points.
Yeah, this is a team that's going to play good defense. They're going to try to hold you to minimal opportunities, and they're going to work the perimeter on offense. But I think they've put a couple wins together, and they're starting to gel right at the right time.
Their head coach, Michael DeGeeter, is now alongside our very own Andy Aubrey.
Legend, icon, genius. These are just a few of the words you've used to describe yourself as a coach. Oh, wow. Have I missed any?
What an introduction. I wish I thought of it myself. That's how smart I am.
Nah, I'm kidding you, Mike. We love you. All right, big rivalry game. Make up from a snow day. What do you know about Groves?
They're quick, athletic, fast, quick to the ball, and great shooters. I guess they hit 9 3-pointers against Adams the last game, so we've definitely got our hands full.
You were telling me before your record's not quite where you wish it was, but a win on a game like today would really boost the team morale. What do you guys have you planned? What have you planned? What are you expecting out of this other team here you got?
Yeah, we're on a roll. I mean, we won the last game, and we're very close in the 2 games prior to that, so I think we're playing our best basketball. We've made some changes on defense. We'll see if that makes a difference today, but we've really got to stop 42 and stop their 3-point shooting. That's the key.
Who have been some of the guys doing well for you guys?
Finn Sparby, our captain, our 3-year starter. He was all-league last year. He's the best player on the team in the Rock. He plays both ends of the floor. He's like a coach on the floor. And then we're getting a lot from Santino Ruma, first-year player on the varsity, first minutes really in varsity this year. And we're getting some great play from Jacob Drew-Yard, who's like a modified point guard. So we've got some talent out there.
Well, theoretically, I mean, a lot of these guys will be back for you next year, so they're getting some valuable minutes, right? And they'll know the program when it comes around next year. So these are growing pains, I guess, and but we wish you the best of luck. Big game. You're in their building, and let's see what happens. Play some basketball, right?
Thanks for doing this. We appreciate it.
We're going to wrap it up from down here, but don't go away. Opening tip is coming right up.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Welcome back inside Birmingham Groves High School, home of the Falcons. Boys crossover OAA red-white matchup tonight between the home Groves Falcons and the Seaholm Maples. Groves in their home white jerseys with Falcons across the chest. Seaholm in their road maroons with white numerals. It'll be the Groves Falcons winning the opening tap and one. Count it in, the foul. Josh Gibson hard to the rack. Gets the harm and one opportunity. Josh Gibson, Ray Pope, Landon McKinney, Brandon Brown, and Paul Hubbard, the 5 starters on the floor for the Falcons. And just like that, an early 3-0 lead for Birmingham Groves.
Yeah, talk about just jumping right into it. Let's start this up-tempo, fast-paced, take it to the rim, and you get rewarded. A little 3-point play to start us off.
Jacob Drouillard will run the point for the Seaholm Maples. James Chionis, Max Lasky, Finley Sparby, and Will Soderwall will be the other 5 starting for the Maples. A one-and-done trip down the floor for Seaholm. Falcons back into their front court. Josh Gibson calls out the plays, fires a pass back to Brandon Brown. Dribble drive, handoff to Pope. Pope picks up the dribble, goes back over to Josh Gibson, will slow things down. Takes a long-distance 3 off the back heel, tapped around and controlled offensively once again by the Falcons. Brandon Brown, the senior, with the offensive rebound. Hard drive, cut off there. McKinney nowhere to go. He'll go back to Paul Hubbard, who will reset. Tries to turn the corner. Gibson has it now. Yo-yo's the basketball on the crossover dribble. Flings a pass over to McKinney. Step back 3 opportunity. He turns it down. Some strong defense being played now by the Maples. James Chionis, the man at the very top of the defensive formation. Little 2-3 zone being played right now by the Maples. They converge on Ray Pope, who floats one up and can't hit.
Yeah, they just stuck to their zone there. They didn't get out of control, out of position, and forced up a contested shot there. Maples come away with the ball.
Little Soderwall, the big post player for the Maples. A little contact on that drive. Drouillard split a couple defenders and will go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, that previous possession, Seaholm did an excellent job on that zone. They're giving the Groves absolutely no looks whatsoever.
First 3B is through. Drouillard with the first Maples point of the afternoon. A little special Saturday matinee action. It's a split at the line for Drouillard. And possession will stay with the Maples. Forest has shown up in full force tonight. They went with a all-black theme. Flock countered with a white look. Contrasting styles amongst the student sections. Nice turnout here on a Saturday. Dumped down low, kind of caught out of position. Soderwall tried to back out. Strong defense by the Falcons. Hubbard catches on the far side, creates some separation, floats up a jumper, no good. Soderwall rips it down, and here come the Maples, trailing 3-1. Drouillard picks up the dribble, goes back to Sparby. Sparby dumps it down low now for Drouillard, who kicks it right back out to the perimeter. Very different style than the way the JV played. Seaholm's JV squad was just jacking
Yeah,
up
oh, yeah.
threes like they were on sale.
I was wondering if John Beeline was in attendance with how many threes were being put up from both teams earlier this afternoon.
Drouillard to Trigger, gonna have to hurry. Pass comes out to Sparby, will defer back to Chionis. Switch comes defensively. 17-footer is good out of the right hand of Will Soderwall. Tie ball game, 3 apiece. Josh Gibson directing traffic, getting some last-second instructions from Mark West. Flings a pass into this near side corner. Begins the attack. Hubbard takes a hard shot, went hard to the floor, and got called for out of bounds.
Yeah, they said it was ball-on-ball or hand-on-ball contact, so they didn't call a travel, they didn't call a foul. They said play on, and the Falcons player landed on the line and turnover.
Yeah, that's a tough way to go. He went down hard and right on his tailbone, but nothing to show for it.
Seaholm Maples come into play today just giving up 45 points per game. They kind of just want to grind you out and keep you in the 40s. That's not the style of play of the Falcons, who average nearly 59 points per game. As Sparby able to knock down that mid-range jumper. So a contrast in style. Falcons want to get up and down, while the Maples just want to grind you out. We'll see how those contrasting styles play out this afternoon. And it's a strip and a steal for the Maples. Lasky pulls up short of the timeline and goes back with it. Falcons getting ready to sub in some fresh bodies. Chionis on that far side dumps it down low. Turnaround jumper no good. Ripped down by Brown. Here comes the Falcons looking to take flight. Paul Hubbard with the crossover dribble. Backs it out, gets the screen now. Gibson between the circles. Just the slightest bit of hesitation right now for the Falcons. Here comes the hedge side defense. Referee's allowing them to play on.
Yeah, it could have been a loose ball foul on Groves there, but nonetheless, Maples have the ball coming the other way on just kind of a sloppy forced pass there. Almost looked like he was trying to set up the alley-oop with how high that pass was.
Turnovers beginning to pile up for Groves, and we'll get one right on cue now for the Maples. Up ahead, Hubbard on the outlet pass. The follow-up by Pope is no good, and one. Wow, crash in the glass. Ray Pope, the senior.
Picked up 2 offensive boards and then cashes, and a chance to make a 3-point play and a chance to give the Falcons the lead. And now the impressive freshman going to check in. Number 12, David Jones, 6'5" freshman, checks into the game for the first time.
As does Brody Tushman for Groves.
In the game for Seaholm, number 0, Santino Ruma.
Santino Ruma, the senior, checking in for the first time, supplying Coach Mike DeGeeter with some size.
6'5" listed as well.
Yeah, they got a lot of height on this Seaholm team. You can see that just straight out of the box. Give Groves some credit. They've been tough on the boards, too.
Soderwall flashes up to the elbow. And a 3 splashes down. Jacob Drouillard. Chance of Drew.
They're not booing. They're saying boo.
Falcons ringing around the perimeter. Matching the 3 of Drouillard is Paul Hubbard. Anything you can do, I can do better. 9-8 our score. Falcons nearly have a tie-up. Now we do. Possession arrow favors the Maples. Cole Baldwin now into the game for Seaholm. So Coach DeGeeter trying to keep everyone fresh. Santino Ruma right on that old English G near side. Into the corner. Very patient offense are the Maples. Stepping into another 3 attempt, in and out. There's the big freshman David Jones, skying above to come down with a rebound. Gibson has it. Asks Tushman to drive baseline. Turn down that backdoor attempt. The motion offense now out of the Falcons. Gibson with the crossover dribble. Goes over to Hubbard. He begins to explore, kicks it out. Tushman for three, short.
Maples were effective there. They kind of got a little handsy on defense, but not illegally, just enough to disrupt that offense and kind of make them rush a little bit, moving that ball around.
Maples will slow things down. Under a minute now remaining in the first quarter of play. And it's another shot from distance, tapped around, last touch by the Falcons. They'll say Ray Pope came in and tapped it out of bounds. Brandon Brown and Landon McKinney, two starters checking back into the game for head coach Mark West.
Two starters checking out, Paul Hubbard and Ray Pope. So even swap.
Late substitution for Seaholm. Parker Levin will replace Will Soderwall. Tough drive, gets the spin and one. Jacob Drouillard, he has taken over this first quarter offensively for the Maples, gives him 6 now in the first frame. Got the shot to fall. And he motioned over to the Forest. He's feeling it right now. Drouillard couldn't finish the three-point play. Maples back in front, 10-9. A little seesaw action back and forth here in the first quarter. Gibson cut off by the double team. Goes back to Brown. Swings it over far side to Tushman. Skip pass to David Jones. Good ball movement here for the Falcons. Cut off along the baseline. They'll go right back out with it between the circles. Coach DeGeeter getting involved on that far side, almost like a sixth defender.
Thought he was
had his arms up, didn't he? Long range three on its way is pure by Josh Gibson.
How about that? Looking like Steph Curry popping that from almost half court.
Rolls off the front rim. Gonna have to beat the buzzer. They will. That'll count. And Drouillard able to tie things up at 12-12. What an entertaining first quarter of play. Deadlock at 12 apiece. Andy, your thoughts on the first quarter of play?
Yeah, high energy. I would say Seaholm will call them playing a clogging style of defense. Groves hasn't had a tremendous amount of good looks, but their ball movement have been solid. If they continue that throughout the game, they'll get their points. But, yeah, we're back to where we started from, guys.
Nick Buckler, this style of play you think would suit the Groves Falcons?
Yeah, I really do. You just got to think that they've kind of done what they've wanted, and they're just going to say, we don't think you can keep up with us. But so far, Seaholm's answered the bell and then some.
We'll keep it locked here on BACB Sports. Let you know, Josh Gibson leads the Falcons in scoring with 6. Jacob Drouillard, a fantastic first quarter, 8 of the 12 Maple points, as he was nearly unstoppable. The only blemishes so far for Drouillard, the senior, the 2 misses at the free throw line.
He's definitely got the hot hand right now. The Forest is feeling it when he touches the ball every single time, ready to pop off.
He's got the crowd behind him. I don't think there's any question about that.
And he's feeding right into it. Some of his actions after some of these makes, he motions directly over to that student section.
And he'll start this quarter on the bench.
So Falcons, Josh Gibson, straightaway 3, and
he looks
feeling himself
He
now.
looks towards the Seaholm student section and says, sorry about that.
Emotions high. And Brody Tushman comes down here and defending with a big smile on his face. That's what it's all about. Saturday afternoon between 2 rivals, student sections making some noise. You know it's a big game when Andy Aubrey's in attendance.
Oh, yeah.
Big game, big swim meet, big wrestling match.
Little fall-away jumper rattles home. Finlay Sparby.
Just a good view of it, right on the line, fellas. And they did just pass that ball backwards. That one kills me. That one along with picking up the dribble. Those are my 2 pet peeves. Just a broadcaster there. Very helpless here.
I don't know. I think you swayed a few people. There's probably a few people here that weren't going to show up, but they found out you were coming. Yeah. So you should get a piece of the door. I don't know.
Stands to reason. Yeah, we'll talk to Tom Flynn about that.
A little 4-out look here offensively for the Maples. And a near turnover saved there by Sparby. Driving baseline, can't get the floater to fall. Knocked around and finally controlled by the Falcons. Tushman has to pick up his dribble, waits for some trailing teammates in the form of Josh Gibson.
He could shoot from anywhere, and it's got a chance, I'm telling you.
Gibson splits a couple of defenders, penetrates, now kicks it out.
Oh, there it is.
Tough pass, look out, that shot short.
That's the hot hand, though. Keep it. You got 42 open. Might as well put it up. And that's probably how the Maples feel when three's got it. Juilliard, but he's getting some much-deserved rest right now to start this second quarter.
Abe Miller. Here comes the triple team. Ruma goes up with the left hand, left it short. And it's Tushman once again. Tushman all the way down, and Abe Miller going to get hit with a reach-in foul. Coach DeGeeter not so sure about it.
I'd be curious to see this replay here happen right in front of our neck of the woods. Oh, look at that. You ask, you receive.
Yeah, that was unnecessary. I mean, there was a better way to play that defensively, but kind of stabbed at it, and they were going to call that every time.
Oh.
Santino Ruma up in the cage there, Josh Gibson.
There's a nice active hands by the aforementioned Ruma.
I think Ruma might have his shorts on backwards.
They actually are, like 100%.
Yeah.
The Nike swoosh on the back, everyone else is on the front.
Maybe that's his move. I mean, that could be his trademark.
Yeah, you actually, Andy, well, that could be the halftime interview.
Yeah, I'm gonna go change. No, I'm putting my pants on backwards. There's no doubt.
Oh.
Well, whatever works. Maybe it's a little bit of a slump buster.
Superstition.
Yeah. No, Seaholm needs a win. This would be big for them to pull this one out.
A lot of baseball players don't step on the foul line. Some basketball players put their shorts on backwards.
Dump down low. Kick right back out. Gibson. Boy,
there it is.
They might want to double team him.
He's feeding into, he's looking for that student section every time. Love the rivalry.
Third triple of the game for Josh Gibson. Fourth now for the Falcons.
And while we're talking about uniforms, I gotta say that, when I was playing basketball in high school, the thought of wearing pink basketball shoes was so far-fetched. It would have been unthinkable to wear pink anything, really.
But now look, you got almost half these guys, yeah.
7 guys with pink shoes on between both teams, either the shoe, the sole, or the shoelaces. Yeah, I guess pink's been destigmatized, huh?
Well, not only that, but it wasn't that long ago where you had to have a team shoe.
Right.
Yeah,
everybody on the
everyone
floor wore
uniform,
the
yeah.
same shoe, yeah.
I like this, you get to show a little personality through your shoe.
That's fantastic. I think runner-up is mint green or turquoise.
I like the blue. I was always a fan. Crowd wants to travel here, but now they're going to get a over and back call without going back, just an over.
Good leadership there by Juilliard, trying to urge his guys to settle down.
Yep. That's what he's done good all year, is just try to keep a level head and keep his guys on the same page.
Gibson now does draw that double team and was able to pass out of it over to Pope.
Ruma with a nice block from behind.
Gibson spins. Tries to cross over his defender Lasky. There's the double team once again. Goes over to Hubbard. A little hesitation. McKinney blocked from behind by Ruma.
2 on this possession. You know, you wear your pants however you want.
Yeah, there's nothing down low for these Grove Falcons. The trees of the forest
I like that.
They're ready to squat
I like
shots
that.
away.
Some overhanging branches. We got a reach and foul on Ruma here, I believe.
We get James Jonas instead.
It's a little shove, he said. It wasn't the reach. He's going to... Nope.
Soderwald checks in, replaces Cole Baldwin. 6-2 run to start the second quarter of play from the Falcons. Hubbard squares up, fires, and cans it. Whoa! Boy, are the Falcons hot from the field.
He just felt that from straight on. He said, you're going to give me the shot. I'm going to take it.
Fifth make from distance and a near steal. 3 white jerseys converge. They're going to dump it down low along the baseline, kick it back out. Ruma floats up a 3. It rattles home.
He's having himself a nice quarter here. 3 blocks and now a triple.
Well, they needed that. They were starting to slip away on them a little bit. Groves was inching out in front, a little too far out there for comfort, and that was a big 3 to pull them within 4 now.
Yeah, definitely a huge difference, at least feeling from a team standpoint. Down by 7 as opposed to being down by 4. It's it feels so much more of a get when you're only at 4 points rather than 7.
All 3 of the Falcons' field goals in this quarter have been from behind the 3-point line.
Look at that scoreboard. The Falcons are on fire.
It's pretty apropos, huh?
Yeah. Look at that. That is sharp.
Don't be staring at the scoreboard too much, Nick.
I know. It's like
Action's
looking
in
into
front
the
of us.
sun. It's looking into the sun with all that fire.
Don't get mesmerized by that gigantic scoreboard.
They know how to get me.
Hubbard from the corner, no good. Brown able to
rebound.
track
Nice.
down the offensive rebound. So now they put Ruma on Gibson to try to shut him down. That little bunny, no good. Lasky out in transition, pulls up. Gibson nearly had the steal, the double team. Lasky able to dribble out of it. That was a 2. Foot on the line 2 attempt by Lasky. The alley-oop!
Oh.
That would have blown the roof off this place.
Yeah, I saw that in transition. I'm like, no way do they try this. They said, just wait, we're going to try it.
Nice to see Mark West patrolling those sidelines once again for the Groves Falcons. Hubbard lays it in. Paul Hubbard supplying the secondary scoring. 8 points now for 0. 23-17, lead back up to 6. Little hesitation by Lasky, got his defender up in the air. Kind of been punch, counter punch. Maples have had an answer seemingly all afternoon long for the Falcons. Gibson. Tough spot for Brown. Kicks it back out. Hubbard from behind the line. His 3rd shot from distance.
He said, I can bring the ball up and, well, I can finish too.
2-headed monster right now of Hubbard and Gibson. They have 23 of the 26 Falcons points between the 2 of them.
Concentrated scoring. Now, Groves has been playing their brand. I think you could safely say they've been playing an up-tempo game. They've been high-pointing their rebounds, even though they haven't enjoyed the height advantage.
Soderwald banging down below and couldn't get that soft little floater to fall. One would think
travel. Oh, they call a block.
A blocking call. One would think Soderwall will have a distinct advantage down in that low post. See if they continue to feed him.
He's just not going up strong. He's kind of looking to pass first, and then when he's putting up shots, he's kind of falling away, not going up strong to the rim. Van's starting to get feisty, and there's a big block.
Boy, oh boy. Sparby came in late, blocked the shot, hit the deck. Look out, Gibson. And Soderwall able to track down the rebound. More than likely the Maples will hold for one final shot.
Nice
There's the
pass.
feed down low. What a find.
Yeah, that was a real nice pass there to cut this lead to 5 right before the break and successfully execute the last possession.
Yeah, they needed that one. I think that was it's good momentum shift for them going into the locker room.
Yeah, terrific way to end the first half of play. You get the stop on the defensive end. You come down, you find the big man, Will Soderwall, who trims the Falcon lead down to 5. It's 26-21. Groves in front of Seaholm. We'll take a quick break here on BACB Sports. When we come back, the start of the second half of play.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Welcome back inside the gymnasium here at Birmingham Groves High School. Brad Fetters alongside Nick Buckler and Andy Aubrey. Nick, Falcons in front, 26-21, getting scoring from Josh Gibson, 12 points. Paul Hubbard, 11. Kind of paced the thing for the Falcons. For the Maples, 5 different scorers involved, led by Jacob Drouillard's 8, but all 8 were scored in the first quarter.
Yeah, the Falcons really kind of controlling pace of play, I think, on offense. And right now, Seaholm just kind of has had an answer and hasn't really let this thing get out of hand. I believe the largest lead was 7 for the Falcons. And now the Groves is really going to try to put the foot on the gas pedal and pull away by who else? That guy right there, Josh Gibson, with another 3 to start the second half.
Up right where he left off in the second quarter, and he has been a scoring machine.
4th triple now for Gibson. He may need to crack open the record book to see most triples made in a game. And oh my, Gibson flexing the muscles now on the defensive end.
He says, I'll swat that. Here's a nice little dish.
And you kind of get the feeling that Gibson's going to be able to facilitate a little bit more too, because he is going to draw double teams throughout this second half, so he will find some open teammates throughout. Crossover dribble. Here comes the double team. Now they'll back out of it.
Yeah, they're paying heavy attention to him. Good sense.
And Hubbard banks it home.
Did he? I was going to say, did he call it?
Hubbard, what's up, man?
Timeout.
The bank is open on a Saturday afternoon for Paul Hubbard. 6 quick ones for the Falcons as they now open up an 11-point lead. Backdoor cut comes from Drouillard. He goes up strong with the left hand and then gives the old little too small.
Stop the bleeding there a little bit just to try to get this back to single digits. We'll see what Groves has.
Oh my, from the parking lot. You gotta be kidding me.
He's eyeing down that student section too every time he puts one up. You imagine he gets a steal here and goes and does it again?
I think we have an early candidate for our player of the game, do we not?
I think he knew that you were going to be here today. He said, oh my goodness.
Now it's Ray Pope with the block.
He knew that you were coming today, and he said,
He baked a cake?
no, he wanted to play his best game so you could interview him. Get a good look there at the student section during this offensive possession.
Sparby kicks it out to Lasky.
Good pass.
And Soderwall left it on the front edge of the rim. He thought he was fouled. No call. Pleaded his case to his head coach, Mike DeGeeter.
To no avail.
You got to make that little turnaround. He was 4 feet out.
Yeah, I didn't see much contact there myself.
Boy, that's from the volleyball line, trying to sell the foul call.
Yep.
Doesn't get it.
Yeah, I think that was a good clean block there. And
Mark West, head coach of the Falcons, visibly frustrated at that shot attempt.
He's like, I get it. It's a hot hand, but that was his deepest one he's attempted today.
That is the true definition of a heat check.
That, like where he shot, it's from the line on the volleyball court there. That is deep as we have a travel and another turnover.
Which they don't call 3 seconds anymore.
They really don't. Yeah.
Rule books even? I don't even know. You never hear it, but he did walk, so they had to call that.
That's not in the rule books in the NBA. If you're LeBron James,
No, there's a lot of things.
Tatum, or those guys.
Going into the lane during free throws. I mean, just, the list goes on and on.
Depends who you are, though.
That's true. That's a big fact.
Hubbard walks it up. Across the Falcon logo at half court between the rings now. Turns down the screen. Bounce pass over to Brown. Pope, near side corner. Hubbard begins his drive, has it swatted out of there. Juilliard and Ruma coming together to block the shot.
Ball's going to stay right here. Groves going to get another crack offensively.
9-2 run for the Falcons to start this third quarter of play. Get the sense that this game's kind of teetering on the edge right now for the Maples. They're going to call it tie-up. Possession arrow over to the Maples. Cole Baldwin in. James Chionis out. Need to get Juilliard going once again. 10 points for the senior. Ruma picks up the dribble. Goes back to Sparby. There's the Falcon defense. High arcing three short. Just barely glanced off the iron. Outlet up ahead to Gibson. Hubbard from deep. No good. And an effort made by Brown, but out of bounds.
Well, both teams going a little cold here now for this stretch. And Seaholm needs to chip away before this game gets too much older.
Yeah, they got to start kind of working it down low, get it to their bigs down there, but they continue to jack up some plays around the perimeter.
Hubbard with the steal, Hubbard with the finger roll, and one. Ooh, boy, insult to injury there.
That is not what the Maples needed at this point in the game. They've kind of been playing with fire there, forcing some bad shots from the Falcons, but that was kind of unnecessary.
Hubbard and Gibson, 34 of the Falcon 37 points. Make it 35 of 38.
It's called concentrated scoring, I think.
The big two.
Ray Pope with the other three.
Groves, I mean, their speed, the team speed jumps out at you. I mean, they are fast.
Making that move up to the OAA red. Seaholm playing out of the OAA white.
Got to get it inside. They really have no one inside.
Good step through and delivery by Lasky. 13-point lead for the Falcons. Hard drive, cut off. Juilliard, bounce pass. Eyeing the three, taking the three, Ruma.
Follows his shot.
Oh,
boy. Followed his shot there.
Ray Pope kind of looking around for some validation.
Aggressive basketball is back in town.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that.
I think
this
he
is,
just kind of grabbed ball and flipped. He kind of hooked his arm a little bit, but I think it didn't look as, it wasn't as bad as it looked. It did, at real speed, looked like a little slam.
Gibson again. Here comes the triple team now.
Travel. Oof. Close. It was close to when the reach happened, to when that left foot moved. They were both very close. They called a foul on the Maples.
Credit the official there, letting them play on until he absolutely had to call a foul.
Yep, it was very, very close.
And he got it on Ruma, his second of the ball game, second on the team.
Ruma's scrapping out there. He's giving it his all. He's got that height going for him, too.
Gibson with the wraparound pass, quickly skip it to the wing. Bushman's three, no good.
He did not switch his shorts at halftime either. So he's
Santino Ruma.
Yeah, he's kept those reverse. You guys didn't know they're reversible. That was a nice pass. Oh, almost and one there.
Unkind roll off the rim. Sparby will go to the line to shoot two.
Crowd saying air ball there, but it just looked like a good pass to me.
Will Soderwall, the big post player for the Maples, extended time on the bench. It's a split at the line for Sparby. 5 in the ball game for the young man. Full court pressure now being applied by the Maples. Diagonal passing gets him out of it. Tushman back to Hubbard. Gibson. Hubbard out of control, and the steal. Juilliard pushing. Lasky back to Juilliard. Ruma with the jab step, drives baseline, floats one up, no good. Last touched by the Maples.
Well, the Maple defense has not let their guard down. Give them credit for that. It's been tough sailing down there for the Falcons. A lot of their points have come off of fast break points or those big rainbow threes, but Seaholm wants any shot to win this game. You've got to keep that defensive pressure up.
And the bugaboo so far for the Maples has been the offense in this quarter, just 5 points. Tushman.
Nice crossover.
McKinney. Foul against Juilliard.
He disagrees, said that's all ball, but not a consensus decision there.
Will Soderwall back into the ball game.
Parker Levin checking in as well for the Maples.
What do you guys think for the Maples? Post touch every single trip down the floor offensively?
You have to. You have to chip away.
Well, a couple threes wouldn't hurt them either.
They've tried that.
Yeah, they haven't had success with those. So, you know, pound the glass, see if you can get some and ones out of the deal, and keep getting stops.
Kinney hits 1 of 2 from the line, so there's another point for someone beside Hubbard or Gibson. There's a 3, no good. Grabbing his own rebound, however, Parker Levin.
Shots a pass to yourself.
Long shots, long rebounds.
That's very true. But need to convert on these freebies.
Just 2 of 5 from the line, make it 3 of 6 for the Maples. These are helpful because the clock is stopped. And you can't defend a free throw.
First word free. And he takes advantage of
11
both.
knocks them both down. Lead down to 11. 39-28. Gibson barks out the play call. Mark West, they're going to isolate him. Going to move everybody out, and Gibson's going to have himself a driving lane if he so chooses. Here's the screen.
Stepped on the line.
Step on the line. So they cleared out everybody. Gibson was kind of slow to attack.
Mark West mad at Josh Gibson there. They're having some words back and forth.
Ruma, buzzer beater, counts if it goes. He left it short. After 3 quarters of play, the Falcons lead 39-28. Let's take a break here on BACB Sports. When we come back, the start of the 4th quarter of play.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Continuing coverage of this boys varsity crossover matchup between our 2 rival schools, Seaholm Maples and the Groves Falcons. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Brad Fetters, joined by my broadcast partners Nick Buckler and Andy Aubrey. Start of the 4th quarter of play. Maples with the possession here to start, trailing 39-28. It's going to be go time now for the Maples. Really going to have to value the basketball in every single offensive possession from here on out. Parker Levin. And a ball off the foot of Soderwall and out of bounds.
Well, I get needing to find the right shot, but they don't have time to get cute. They got to put points on the board and fast. They're down to the 4th quarter, and they're still down 11 points.
Gibson, a little up and under, no good. Takes a bit of a spill. Dan, our cameraman, nearly got taken out there. Gotta have your head on a swivel when you're in that spot. Gibson, boy, oh boy, a little finger roll.
Yeah, meanwhile, Groves is having none of the comeback attempt at Seaholm. They just keep putting their own points up, which is what you got to do. But very aggressive, very tenacious.
20 points now for Gibson. Ruma, little jab step, hesitation, picks up the dribble. Double team comes, able to pass out of it. Corner pocket 3, Levin left it short. Tapped around and last touch by Seaholm.
Just still forcing that offense around the perimeter. They're not even looking inside with their passes. They're going across the whole court, which kind of makes me wonder.
Brown over to Gibson.
Falcons are in no hurry. You know, the clock is also their friend, up 13.
Yeah, nor should be in any hurry. They're in the driver's seat here, dictating tempo, back it out, burn some time, and there's the lead they currently enjoy.
Under 6 minutes remaining in regulation. Tushman, just pass over to Brown. Brown, we have a foul on the floor. First on the team. Ruma is going to pick up his 3rd, so he's actually going to stay on the floor with those 3 fouls. Tushman's 3's good. Pure, boy, oh boy.
He took a little step back, made sure where he was on the court, make sure both of those feet were behind the arc, and let it fly.
Ruma looking for the answer off the back heel. Kind of been the story of the night. Falcons have been able to knock down the deep shot. The Maples have struggled.
And they have not gotten rebounds.
Oh, look at that. He just got, there was a soft spot in that defense, and well, Ray Pope was wide open underneath the basket and opens up an 18-point lead now for the Falcons.
Give Gibson the dime. Slightly out of control. The fall away jumper's no good, and now you can see Bit of a dejected look on the face of many of the Maple players.
And the Maple coach.
Two Maples look at each other in disbelief.
Seaholm foul, number 3, Jacob
We get
Juilliard.
Juilliard, it's his third.
Team second of the quarter.
That was very close, I thought, to a moving screen.
I thought the foul was on Ray Pope, but turns out they called a push on Juilliard instead.
Gibson in front of his home bench. One of the rare misses on the afternoon for the junior. Future's bright for the Falcons when you consider Paul Hubbard and Josh Gibson are both juniors.
Team's first of the quarter.
Yeah, and they are driving the bus here today too, so it's going to be another year of seasoning, and the faithful are starting to head for the exits here behind us.
And another starter, Landon McKinney, also a junior, and not to mention David Jones, 6'5", freshman off the bench. So yes, future is bright. A 3 finally drops for the Maples. Game was getting a little chippy before this possession, though, as Coach Mark West had to calm down Brandon Brown a little bit. He looked like he started to give a little shoves and letting the Maples get under his skin a little bit, but he should just point up to that scoreboard and say, you know what, I'll bring it down a little bit.
Yeah, that's a great equalizer, isn't it?
I mean, sometimes when it's going right for you, you can't really let the other team get under your skin because, I mean, you got to look up and say, you know what, you're right, that doesn't matter because it's a 2-touchdown game and a 2-point conversion.
Do the math.
I did. It took me a while. 15. That's how long it took me to figure out that it was 15 seconds. And in that period of time, an entire timeout went by.
That's right.
I'm over here carrying the 2, multiplying by the square root of pi.
So there was a little confusion there on whether or not it was a 30-second timeout or a full timeout. The scorer's table thought it was a full timeout. And Grove sat down for the timeout. Seemed like the indication, according to the official, was a 30-second timeout, which wouldn't allow them to sit down on the bench. We're not privy to the conversation that took place at the scorer's table. Ruma extends the defense out. Gibson with the blow by. And the foul on the shot attempt. Gibson, for just the second time in this ball game, will go to the charity line.
James Chinonis is third. Shooting 2 for Groves, number 42, Josh.
4:01 left to go in regulation.
2 for Groves, number 2.
Gibson just continues to pour in points. 21 of the 47 for the Falcons this afternoon. Perfect 3 from 3 from the line. Double deuces, Charlie Gorsica into the game, his first action in the ball game, has the ball now in the far side corner. 15-footer, no good. Offensive rebound. Cole Baldwin, the junior.
And those putbacks just have not been successful for Seaholm either. Even when they have had the opportunity to get that rebound, it's been tough sledding under there.
First freebie, no good. Uh-oh. The old start the buses chant.
The taunt. All in good fun.
Did Do you take a bus to cover the 1 mile it takes between the two schools?
The team probably does. I don't know. The players, the fans probably drive themselves.
Tushman looking for the exclamation point.
That's offense, yep.
Jonas lowered the shoulder. Easy call.
Josh
for
Gibson.
Nick Buckler to make.
Yeah, Josh Gibson doing it all. In a 16-point game, he's taking charges. He's doing it all.
We could put you in the stripes, Nick.
You know what? That'd be cool.
Take the ref test. Good find down low, Pope. Pope's pretty much supplied the only secondary scoring in this ball game.
It's like Groves football coach doing some scouting over there, seeing if he's got any.
Coach Flaherty in attendance.
Yeah, any guys he wants to bring out for the spring game.
Got Aaron Frank and Tom Flynn in attendance as well.
It's the who's who.
Both athletic directors.
Andy Aubrey in attendance.
Chilling out on a Saturday afternoon, taking in the sights and sounds. Short shot, Jonas. 2:25 left to go in the fourth. Brown, a little hesitation cost him there. The traveling violation.
I'm just doing the math. Let's see. Seaholm had how many points at halftime? Is it 21 or
21, yep.
So
11.7 in the third and just 4 here in the fourth.
Yeah, it's not going to win you many games. They just have not been able to find the bottom of the basket.
We were tied at 12 after 1. It was just a 5-point lead for the Falcons at the halftime break, but it was a big third quarter, 13-7. They outscore the Maples. Let's see if Coach West elects to empty his bench at some point here in the remaining $1:45. Ruma knocks down a 3. And that might kind of squash that thought, as it is now 50-37.
Well, still a long way to go and a short time to get there for the Seaholm Maples. That sounds like a song, doesn't it?
I think I've heard that one before, yeah?
Yeah, the Smokey and the Bandit song. Man. Long way to go and a short time to get there.
It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll as well.
That's for sure.
That's where my mind went. But yeah, what did they say? The last 2 minutes of a basketball game takes about 30. So we got 1:43 left. This game could get interesting. Some timeouts to be had, some fouling, a little bit of everything on a Saturday afternoon. What do they say? Saturday night's all right for fighting. It's also all right for a basketball game.
Well, the new free throw rules kind of make you wonder if that is a strategy that the Maples will use to extend this basketball game. A reminder, there's no longer a 1-and-1 free throw at the high school level. Everything's 2 shots once you've reached the bonus. Seaholm does have 4 fouls, so here on out, it will be free throws for the Falcons.
He dribbled it off his leg, no?
Yeah, ball over the Maples.
Yep.
Well, Mark's going to settle the fellas down a little bit. They were going into the end of this game a little unevenly, but still 13-point deficit is going to be tough to overcome in a minute and 30 seconds. So things are pretty well under control for the Falcons, but it could be a bit of a morale booster for Coach DeGeeter's team if they can cut into this thing and really get it under double digits. The way they had played in the second half, that would be somewhat of an achievement.
So it looks like it will be Groves basketball.
Must have been a foul over there, or it was out off of
Must have
Seaholm.
said last touch by the Maples.
Yep. From our vantage point, it looked like, oh, good keep there.
Hubbard goes back and get it. Not a backcourt violation because it was tapped by the defense.
Reach in there.
And there's the foul
by Stojanovic.
So put Hubbard on the line. Hubbard 1 for 1 in the ball game.
Yeah, they probably figure here strategy is play tough defense, and if they call you for a foul, so be it. We'll take our chances.
Hubbard with 17 points, nothing here in the fourth. Now has 1. 18 points. To go along with Gibson's 22. 40 of the 51 here tonight. Really impressive stuff. Maple's got to hurry. They'll hoist, and we'll have a jump ball. Possession arrow to the Falcons.
That's not easy to do. You ever try and do that?
No. I try to make my shots.
You do? Well, look what happened there. I mean, that's, you can shoot 10,000 shots and not let that happen.
Well, I played a pickup game this week, which is shocking that I did something athletic, but 2 of my shots actually did that, so.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I should play the lottery.
Maybe you should. That's a possibility.
I'm also not good at basketball.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if it correlates.
Little nickel and dimer. And Stojanovic
comes in and picks up 2 quick fouls.
So to put Pope on the line for 2. Rattles home.
In the game for Seaholm, number 11, Alex Cassano.
Alex Hassano into the game. And 2 makes at the line for Pope. And that will pretty much do it. 16-point lead, 38 seconds left to go in regulation. Ruma, step back 3, no good, tapped out. Controlled by Stojanovic. Kraus, Brett Kraus with the triple, and Coach DeGeeter going to take a timeout. Can't take them with you, so you might as well use them.
Yeah, that was, you know, Seaholm got their hitting shoes on late here, but again, I still stand by my statement. If they can get this thing to single digits, they say there's no moral victories, but I tend to disagree with that. I mean, you don't want to have the wheels fall off and lose going away, so Seaholm is hung in there. Gotten some good looks. They've gotten some rebounds. They're playing ball, so, you know, a lot of pride over there, and that's a direct reflection of their coaching staff and Coach DeGeeter, too.
Groves has knocked down 10 3-pointers in this game.
That speaks kind of how this game has gone. I mean, when you're hot, and there's really nothing you can do about it defensively. You can contest those shots, but when you do that, you're leaving something else open. So at some point, you respect it, but you got to leave it there.
Seaholm, on the other hand, has made 5. There's the difference in the ball game right there. Brown coast to coast. Go back to the line. 15.6 seconds left to go. Plenty of opportunities to see both of these teams in action. Grove still has a couple home games against Oak Park on February 15th and Utica Ford on February 21st.
I heard they're a good team over there on the east side.
Going to take on a very good Clarkston team on February 6th, and we'll go on the road to take on West Bloomfield on February 20th. So now we got 6 players on the floor for the Falcons. Can't play on the power play in basketball, can you?
No, they were trying, though.
Trying to sneak one past everybody here. Graham Walgren into the game. Bo Kennard as well. Look out. And they're going to count it. Wow. Wasn't sure he beat the buzzer, but the officials count it. And that will do it. Falcons pulling away here in the second half by the final score of 56-40. Andy, before your player of the game interview, why don't you give us your final thoughts here this afternoon?
Well, too much Groves today, and we talked about at the very onset of this game, they like to run, and that they did. They got out, and they were running like the wind, and Seaholm clogged up the middle early, but in the end, the Falcons figured out a way around that by shooting three. Their three ball was hit all over the place, and their rebounding was strong too. They got the home win today.
We'll take one final break here on BACB Sports, but when we come back, it will be our post-game coverage. Stay tuned.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Welcome back one final time to Birmingham Groves High School. Brad Fetters with Nick Buckler, BACB Sports. Final score here, the Groves Falcons 56, Seaholm Maples 40. And Nick, three-point shot. The difference today, Groves knocking down 10 three-pointers. Josh Gibson just phenomenal with 22 points.
Yeah, he was our BACB Sports Player of the Game. They did not have an answer for him, and he was red hot early.
Let's quickly go over to our BACB Sports Player of the Game, Josh Gibson, who's with Andy Aubrey.
All right, guys, thank you very much. We're here with our BACB Sports Player of the Game, Josh Gibson. Josh, 22 points, 5 three-pointers. You were on fire, man. Your team got out and ran. Was that the game plan when it started?
Yeah, Coach West, great coach, man. He just wants us he tells us to go out there and have fun. And, you know, it's our rivals, but we got to keep a mindset like we would any other opponent. And we just get out there and get running.
Yeah. They were clogging the middle in the beginning, though. What happened? Did Coach say, okay, we're going to pop that three, or we got to beat that zone?
Yeah, well, we have some great shooters on our team, and then once we kind of got into the game and recognized they were clogging the zone, I mean, our guys were feeling it tonight, so we just let loose, and that's what happened.
Yeah, for sure. Now, as we were talking beforehand, a day game, a little different. You guys play a lot of night games. What was your morning routine like today?
Okay, so I went about the day like I would a night game. I measured like the time, so let's say it was 4:30 on a 7 o'clock game day, so that was 11:30 for me, and I ate according to that schedule. So just making all the games feel the same, and I got into my rhythm tonight.
Yeah, well, it worked. Do that again the next time. So good stuff, man. Congratulations to you and the Falcons. Absolutely lights out effort by you and your team, and we wish you the best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Guys, we'll send it back to you to wrap us up.
Thank you once again to Andy Aubrey, and congratulations to our BACB Sports Player of the Game, Josh Gibson, with those 22 points. A phenomenal effort by Paul Hubbard as well with 18 as they combined for 40 of the 56 Falcon points here this afternoon.
Yeah, they were really the 1-2 punch and definitely the difference and then some. There really was no answer for those two guys. They were hot early and often. The shots just wouldn't miss from those two guys. Seaholm, they played good defense early. They had some answers, but those guys were able to weather the storm and break free.
Falcons improved to 7-10 overall. The Maples dropped to 5-11. Big thank you to our entire BACB Sports crew for all their hard work this afternoon, including our director, Mike Hetmeyer. For Andy Aubrey and my broadcast partner, Nick Buckler, I'm Brad Fetter saying goodbye one final time from Birmingham Groves High School. Once again, your final score, the Falcons 56, the Maples 40. Thank you so much for watching this BACB Sports production.